Well, let me begin with by sharing my absolute disgust at the video that has surfaced. We understand now that this video has been from the very early days of the crisis. Um, on the 3rd of May, there were around 14 villages of Meiteis in Chanpur which were attacked. Um, there were certain rumors around that time on the 3rd of May that there have been certain Meitei women who've been raped by Kuki men when they were returning from the tribal unity sort of conference, etc. So there was this vicious amount of rumor mongering that was happening, and this incident unfortunately happened immediately the next day. And you know, this is the problem when rumors are not controlled in time, and it is allowed to spread, and then it causes mayhem where societies are at are at such uh, a state of passion wherein it just delivering justice or seeing justice to be delivered seems the only option or of paramount importance, and everybody goes onto the street, and then every rational thinking person converts into a mob with its mob mentality. And this is what we saw in this absolutely dastardly video which has surfaced. What has the Wire magazine has reported and reportedly interviewed the two victims, and of them, one of the victim has narrated that eventually the older Meitei men and women stepped in and stopped the mob from assaulting them and ensured that the rape didn't happen in one of the cases. There is very little hope. There is hope, though, that there were certain people who had humanity at heart who stepped in and tried to control, rapes happening as the mob was trying to physically assault the woman they had captured. So it's an unfortunate thing. This happened on 4th of May. It's a 75-day-old video. Manipur has been limping to normalcy. We've seen that the number of violence cases have drastically come down. However, this video that has come in will certainly further drive people to pick up arms or possibly do violence. And we are already hearing that certain groups have captured 5-6 villagers, and they are being killed. This is certainly an accusation which the entire government will have to conduct investigation at the highest possible level. We are hearing that there is a judicial commission of inquiry which has been put in place, headed by the former Chief Justice of Assam, who will have to get into each of these accusations, identify who are the police people, try and understand that were they acting because of communal passions, that they left their primary responsibility and duties towards protecting the citizens and took a communal line. If yes, they should be persecuted with an exemplary punishment. When the state apparatus breaks apart like this, where would the citizen look up to? Therefore, there can be, what I can say from distance is that, let every fact be established, so that, the evidences can be presented in the court and proper punishment can be meted out. I understand emotions and passions are there right now, but without collecting those required evidences, the case becomes weak before the court of law. Therefore, it is important that passions remain, and to the extent that justice is seen to be delivered, but simultaneously, a very methodological and professional forensic investigation is done into this, so that you can pinpoint and say that these were the set of people who did not do their duty and allowed the mob to take over. Also, keep this in mind as you were asking me about the police question. Mob of 700,000 people tends to overpower a few policemen who are out there. We've seen that even with the army. I mean, when the armed forces with the, with shoot at sight order, by the way, on 4th, there was no shoot at sight order. Fast forward, even the army, who had clear shoot at sight orders with them, found it very hard to control the women leaders, etc., both from Kuki side and the Meitei side. So armed forces, the army of our country was finding it hard to control mobs of this size. So please understand that the police of that size of a small, like 5-10 people, would have found it quite hard. But again, this needs to be established properly through proper evidence and seeking all ground information. Well, I mean, if you rationally think through that, look at the number of FIRs around equally dastardly acts have been, reported and lodged at various police stations. There have been so many deaths from both sides of the community. So first thing that I would request you is to take a dispassionate view of how the situation is. And it's an ongoing situation. It's not like, everything has been settled and, the police isn't doing anything about it. Just yesterday itself, I saw the IG rank officer was being, stopped and looted and attacked by an unruly mob in one remote foothill in Manipur. I'm saying it's an ongoing situation, and the police primary responsibility right now is to ensure that there is rule of law, there is no violence, all the arms from the common citizens from both the communities is taken back, and the control is with the police. Combing operations are happening. All of that is happening. As I said, simultaneously doing investigative evidence collection, etc., might have been cumbersome at this stage. This is why, as soon as the evidence through video appeared, it's not like the FIR wasn't filed. The FIR was filed as soon as it was reported. There were several FIRs which were clubbed together into this parent FIR. As soon as the FIR was done, I suppose that, some process should have kicked in to identify the perpetrators of this crime. However, with the evidence, with video evidence coming in, it was clearly identifiable that these are 6, 7, 10 people who are leading the mob. So exactly who are these perpetrators, and try and identify them. And overnight search operations and combing operations have been going on. I believe that in another few hours, we will see all of those faces who were visible in that video would be arrested. And the state government would press for the harshest possible punishment on that. That's my hope. Well, I think, it's such a dehumanizing act that I'm at loss of words to express that why did it happen. And Manipur is one state where we have seen that women provide leadership to the society. It's not a typical state in the rest of our country. Here, women are very, very strong and powerful and resolute about, maintaining social norms, etc. Women have been at the very forefront of leadership. And this is what baffles me right now, is that, women have been attacked in the most gruesome possible ways. And the attack, by the way, there have been certain reports are there that even Meitei women were attacked and raped. Again, these are unfounded allegations which one has to deep dive. So both the sides of the community have been doing atrocities and entered into a tribal war, wherein the state administration and the state apparatus suddenly collapsed, and it took them 4 or 5 days to get their acts together and try and control the violence. But by then, a lot of damage was done. We saw on what happened on 3rd May in Churachandpur. But then 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th May, it happened in Fall Valley. And it is, I do not have words to express it. Well, see, it's in today's day and age, we all understand that a lot of humanitarian organizations around the world say that internet should not be banned. But in hindsight, if you look at had internet been controlled around any rumor mongering on the 3rd of May, we would have seen a much different sort of handling of the situation on the 4th, 5th, 6th. So at times when, passions drive in, and I still see the screenshots that were being circulated from the 3rd of May's night. And passions were whipped up, and every Meitei was literally swearing in that what has happened to our brethren in Churachandpur. We were literally evicted. We will take revenge and evict every Kuki from Imphal Valley. But had you controlled the passions even then by controlling the internet and social media, you could have ensured that you established the facts that were the Meitei women raped in Churachandpur or not. And had that question been addressed there and then, we would not have seen this incidents. Therefore, at times, though I understand it is really hard, blanket internet ban is not the solution, but selective internet banning of social media to avoid rumor mongering is an absolute must. Otherwise, real lives are at stake, and we have seen this unfolding. After that, I suppose Manipur has also launched its own toll-free number, which is to control rumors. So if there's any rumor, you can call in into that number and check if the concerned incident did actually happen or not. And this is being spread on every newspaper. Advertisements are being pasted that, please, any of you, if you have any confusion about a piece of information, please check before you form your opinions around communities. It is because over a period of time, everything layers and layers of complexity were being added without solution being sought. And this is the reason why this current problem, where we are seeing multitude of issues. There is illegal migration, there's land problem, there is reserve forest problem. All of these are getting coming together and juxtaposing and creating this really impossible riddle to solve. And I think this is why state governments found it really hard to control the passions of both the communities. Though let me tell you that what violence was there in the earlier first 10 days or so. After that, there has been a steady decline in the violence. After that, there has been only a few sporadic events which we see around bunkers which have been created by both communities on the foothills. Other than that, we have seen a pretty much semblance of normalcy coming back to the state, limping back. However, this video will certainly disturb people. But I think this absolutely barbaric act that has happened allows both the communities to at least come to the negotiating table and at least think that what we have lost and what we have gained. There is absolutely no gain from both the communities. There cannot be any political peace process to begin with if such heinous acts are not condemned by both. And this also opens us perhaps a window of opportunity where the Meiteis realize what they have been chasing and the way they've been doing is not right. And even for the Kuki communities to come in and say that, yes, we acted out of passion on the 3rd of May, and we, suffered the most, and our property, belongings, everything were burned down in the following things, and violence is not the way forward. At least allow the civil societies from both the sides to at least use this opportunity to say that enough is enough. Let's forget what has happened and let's look forward. It's ultimately their lives and the lives of the children which has to be solved. And I think without these communities realizing that enough cost has been paid to this violence, and we need to stop. Till that, I don't see any solution being para-dropped and it would work at the stage.